Catherine Lee Bates was a shy, nearsighted, small-town New England girl. She used to hide away in her books when she was a child. But eventually she became the head of the Wellesley English department at Wellesley College in Wellesley, Massachusetts. She was one of the first graduates of that school. Catherine Lee Bates had the opportunity to travel abroad many times. It was late in the summer of 1893 that she went for the first time to the far west of our country. At the summit of Pikes Peak, watching the sunrise, Catherine Lee Bates became enraptured with the purple mountain majesties and the sea-like sweep of the plains. From that one experience, from the summit of Pikes Peak, she wrote, "America the Beautiful." This was her gift to her country, and what a blessing to us all. Let us listen to Pam play our great national hymn. At least a lot of people think it should be. We will sing on the refrain. Pat? O eternal God, through whose mighty power our ancestors won their liberties of old, grant that we, the people of this land, may have the grace to maintain those liberties in righteousness and peace. Let us stand and sing together the first stanza of "O Beautiful for Spacious Skies." Catherine Lee Bates was writing to us about some of the great principles of our faith and a key response to life as gratitude for all of creation, for the purple mountain majesties, and for the spacious sky. So on this 4th of July Sunday, let us be thankful for all of God's universe. And for all of the amber waves of grain. Our nation is abundantly rich in food. But we must remember that there are still many people who go to bed hungry in this great nation tonight. And as all the people who are at the G8 summit this week are protesting of the great needs in Africa for food. That many of God's children all over the world will not have food to eat today. May we be grateful for the amber waves of grain that are ours on this Freedom Sunday. In every stanza of this hymn, Catherine Lee Bates included a prayer. In this first stanza, as we've just sung, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Catherine Lee Bates, interestingly enough, was asked to change one line in this first stanza. This related to including the world in from sea to shining sea. And she said, it does include all the world, and I believe we should join the League of Nations, but I want people, when they sing these words, to think of sea to shining sea all over the world. And I'm waiting for the day when the President of the United States of America, going way back to John F. Kennedy's day, will not only ask God to bless America, but to bless all the nations of the world. And here was Catherine Lee Bates praying for that kind of prayer, praying for brotherhood in 1893. We are still praying for brotherhood and sisterhood in 2005. Bates's prayers have ascended ever since she wrote these inspiring words. God knows, as we read the headlines of our newspapers, see the news on television, and even in our own families, that we need each other as brothers and sisters in community with each other. We need Catherine Lee Bates's vision of neighbor love for all of God's children, wherever we live and wherever we move and wherever we have our being. After these scriptural words, we will remain seated and sing the second stanza of America the Beautiful. Proclaim liberty throughout the land to all who live. Get rid of wickedness and undo heavy burdens. Let the oppressed go free. Break every yoke. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet. The heritage of pilgrims' feet. Haven't thought about that for a long time. And would you believe it or not, I grew up in New England, and it wasn't until our children were born that we actually went from Townsend, then Massachusetts, to Concord to see all of the great things about freedom there and in Concord, Massachusetts. The heritage of pilgrim feet. On this 4th of July Sunday, we must not forget the sacrifice and men and women who, for freedom's sake, brought this country into being. On this 4th of July Sunday, let us make sure as we break bread at Jesus' table, in our homes at noon, at our picnic, or tonight, to thank God for the great cloud of witnesses that have come before us, giving us the heritage of a thoroughfare of freedom across the wilderness. Let us also take seriously, as Bates has written, that our nation has some flaws in it. and pray to God that our flaws will be mended. And let us discipline ourselves with self-control by liberty in law. Open the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in. Let us sing the third stanza of our national hymn, Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, oh, beautiful for heroes proved. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved, who more than self their country loved. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. The whole commitment to sacrifice brought our nation into being. We are here as Christians because God's Son sacrificed his life for me and for you. May God thy gold refine. Could Catherine Lee Bates be telling us today that our nation has vast resources and refining the wealth of this country as it has in the past and the present needs to be shared with all people in this nation and God's people in the world? May God thy gold refine America. We are a blessed people in so many ways. Food, shelter, clothing, a given for all of us, and much more for all of us on this Freedom Sunday. Let us hear these words. God has made of one family all the nations of the world, for to dwell on all the face of the earth. Therefore, nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Catherine Lee Bates, on her way out west, went to the Chicago World's Fair. The section of the fair called White City made a great impression on her. Through it, she gained her vision of alabaster cities undimmed by human tears. In this last stanza, we move to that future hope that there will be one city of God's people, an alabaster city undimmed by human tears. Our great hymn ends as it began. God shed his grace of brotherhood from sea to shining sea. And with heart and soul, let us stand and sing the last stanza of America the Beautiful.